Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to check my sound settings real quickly here before we get started, just to make sure the sound is on the right microphone. As many of you know, I have 4 cameras set up, and sometimes it tries to grab the wrong camera, grabs the wrong camera, and then it tries to use that microphone instead of using my default microphone sometimes. So that's always an issue. I have to always watch, especially when I go from live stream to not live stream and back and forth. And when I do the restream, it does it a little bit different. So it always tries to grab whatever microphone is out there. So this is episode 4 of the WES. WES stands for Wargaming, Eurogaming, Sports Gaming News Show. And so we've had a whole month of it going on. I'd like to hear from you guys, your thoughts, your comments, suggestions going forward. We have decided, if I can get my ass in gear, we have decided to have special co-hosts come on every once in a while. And if I would organize it a little bit better, I would have already had a guest on, but I'm just not that. I always wait to the last minute, and then I ask people at the last minute, hey, can you come on tonight? And people are busy or they can't come on or whatever. So unfortunately, I didn't think about it again this week. But tonight, or not tonight, but I won't say tonight. This week, I'm hoping to get emails sent out to Stuka, Mike, Butterjelly, Berticelli, Herman Lutman, Tony from Tony's Board Life, some of my sports guys, Phoenix Knight, just a bunch of guys that I know online that I think would be able to come on the show and talk decently about the different subjects. We talk about wargaming, Eurogaming, and sports gaming, and I know a lot of you out there might be able to do that. So if you have any suggestions for me of people that I might want to chat with, designers, developers, whoever, let me know. Again, we're not going to do it all the time. It's not going to be a weekly thing where we have somebody on, but we're going to try and get a few guests on every once in a while. I know the Zone of Control podcast has been copying everything I've done. So when I start getting guests on, I'm sure he'll start getting guests on. Oh, he's already copied that idea, hasn't he? Yes. In fact, as a reminder, tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my little old me, will be on the Zone of Control podcast over on Cardboard Commander's channel. And we will have a great show. Again, I'm only on there once a month. It's the second Thursday of the month. And so that's already coming up. And we're going to have our second debate coming on. And the debate this month will be about the Mark 7-inch games, which is the best of the series and why. And then each of us will be able to debate it for several minutes. And then we'll get to 2 minutes to rebuttal against whatever the other person chooses. Jerry's been throwing me some curveballs, trying to keep me on my toes, not letting me know which game he's going to announce as his favorite of the series, and he keeps changing his mind. He's trying to play these mind games with me, Cardboard Commander, because he thinks that's the only way he can win is by cheating his way to victory. So what I'm asking you guys to do is come on over to the Zone of Control podcast tomorrow and come vote for me. And we can dominate over on his channel as well, and really show Cardboard Commander that his little channel over there is nothing compared to the force that I can bring to bear against him. So if you're interested, come on over to the Zone of Control podcast. Come vote for me tomorrow during our little debate, and see if we can win another matchup with Cardboard Commander. That'll be tomorrow night, so don't forget. I expect you guys to be there, and I expect you guys to vote for the proper person, if you know what I mean. So, um, anywho's, going forward, we've been going on this. This is our fourth episode now. The format we've been using is, kind of an introductory talk about the week that was, the week that's coming up, new games we're getting in or whatever new thing we need to talk about. Then we've been talking about wargaming. Then we've been talking about Eurogaming. We've been talking about sports gaming. And we talk about our shelf of shame. We talk about our call or not call. And I'm wanting to hear from you guys out there if there's something that you would like us to think about adding to the show, a new subject, a new area to explore, things to do that might fall outside that boundaries. Obviously, if I'm talking about wargaming, I'm talking about anything to do with wargaming, and if I'm talking about sports gaming, so almost everything can fit in there. But what I'm talking about is things like the shelf of shame. Like, I think that's a great idea to help people, including yourself, if you're watching this, try to get some of your games that you've got on your shelf of shame played. We've been doing this for 4 weeks. First week, we didn't do it. Second week, we introduced it. And so we've been doing it for 3 weeks. Of the 3 weeks, I've played 2 of the 3 games. So I've got 2 new games played since I started the Shelf of Shame, which is, it forces me to, okay, shoot, I've got to, like last night, I'm sitting here trying to debate, am I going to get Pergoreto on the table, which was my game of the week that I was supposed to get done. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time to sit down and study this game. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I've been reading the rules. I've been reading through the battle reports. And I know that was on my shelf of shame, but I also didn't play Veil Wraith from 2 weeks ago. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to play Veil Wraith and get that off of my list because it's on my list. So of the 3 games that we've been doing, I've got 2 of the 3 played. So that is a step in the right direction. I did play mine. It said Paul. I'm sorry, it said Thomas. I did mine this week. He played Buffalo Wings. Buffalo Wings. That's an interesting one. Buffalo Wings. I've never heard of that one. What is that? Buffalo Wings came out in 2010. Let's share this and show what Thomas Harkless did. Buffalo Wings. Looks like an air combat game. It looks pretty good, actually. It's got land units. It's got all kinds of different sky units. There's Yaks and MiGs and wow. Those that's this is why I do this show. Like, this is great because this is a game I never heard of. I would have probably never heard of this if Thomas Harkless wouldn't have shared that with me. So that looks really cool. I'm gonna have to keep my eye open for that one because I might want to try and pick that up sometime. How does it play solitaire? It's part of the Fighter Wings series. I'm assuming you played solitaire. Let me know what you thought of the game. Like, give us a little rating on it. It's like 1 to 10. What would you rate it? Is it worth trying to pick up? Is it expensive? Looks like a pretty cool game. Normal night is for $85. Looks like some used copies on the geek market for European. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. That's cool. Richard Kerr is in the house. Richard, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming by. I do appreciate everyone that comes by and says hello. All right, so we'll stop sharing there for a minute. So my main point to this is we've been doing this show for 4 weeks now, and I'm interested in adding some new variety, some new segments to the show. If you guys think of something, you can email me. You can email me or you can post it a comment down in the comments section, whatever you want to do. I will show you my email address. Obviously, you guys should have it at this point, but if you don't, it's idgesterlive@gmail.com. idgesterlive@gmail.com. So if you think of something like, hey, you know what would be a really cool segment? I know we used to do like a history segment. Ruff used to, Ruff remembers, Jester's Jeopardy, and Nate's Notes, and all that fun stuff we used to do back in the day when the War Room show. Do you want me to bring some of that stuff back into this show a little bit? Would it make it too long? Let me know your thoughts and your comments, because I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about. Again, we're trying to get this show anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. I don't have any set time. I'm not going to be like, oh, the show's got to be done at like 7:30 or whatever, or 8 o'clock, or I just go until I'm done talking. And I think, if it's an hour, it's an hour. If it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours, whatever. So anyways, I'm looking for new ideas for this show. The one thing I'm going to probably get rid of is the call or keep segment. I started that and we started doing that. We had several people, like several opportunities for people to vote on it, and nobody ever voted. Nobody posted any comments. At least at this point, it's just didn't seem like something you guys were interested in. So if you want me to bring that back, let me know. But at this point, the call or keep segment is probably going to go away just because of lack of interest. Again, it just, when I say post comments and you guys don't post comments, it means you're not interested. So that's just the way it is. So, as I talked about last week, my daughter was here with her fiance, and they were here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they left on Sunday. And so that kind of really limited my gameplay and what I can do and this, that, and the other thing. Well, surprise, surprise, daughter number 2 and my little baby grandson and her husband are coming this week. They are actually going to come on Sunday. I'm sorry, they're coming on Saturday. They're going to be here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. They're leaving on Wednesday morning. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now, fortunately, they're not coming in until Saturday night, so I have all day Saturday to do some gaming and whatever I need to get done. So that'll at least give me a chance to get some stuff in on Saturday. But of course, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going to be taken up with the daughter and the new grandson, which is going to be super cute. And I'll get to share some photos of the grandson. So it's been a busy 2026 has been crazy. As you guys have been known, I was doing my top 100 board games of all time series. That was 10 weeks in a row. Then I got sick, and then I was in the hospital, and then I got sick again. And then my wife was sick, and we were in the hospital. And then the next weekend, she got sick and was in the hospital again. We've been to the hospital 4 times in 2026 so far, twice for me and twice for her. And then I have my daughter coming to visit, and then I have my second daughter coming this week. So 2026 has not been a banner year. Jeff Edwards, good to see you, my friend. Thomas says, I like the 10 game challenge. It challenged me to pick up 10 games and play. I did like the call or keep. Unfortunately, I posted during the live stream. Okay. A lot of people have asked about the 10 game challenge. Am I going to bring back the 10 game challenge? I was the one that originally started the 10 game challenge, talked about it. and kind of inspired people, and then it kind of morphed into like my thing to like host and do. And I always like doing that stuff and forcing people, because I think, again, my show is only to share information and get people inspired to do things and to call their collection and get rid of games that they don't want, or play games from their shelf of shame. If I'm doing that, that for me is more important than how many viewers I get to come to my show and how many comments I get and all that. I don't really care about that. What I care about is people watch the show and say to themselves, that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. That sounds like fun. And the 10 game challenge was a great way for me to get people and challenge people and say, oh, okay, if you're a hot shot, let's see if you're a hot shot. You play 10 games. So we've been negotiating about whether or not we're going to bring that back. Nothing at this time. Obviously, it was a great burden to me because I was shipping out games to people all over the world as rewards, which is great fun. We had a lot of donations from Flying Pig Games and GMT and Lock and Load and all the great companies that we had supported us. Were donating games and shipping games out for us, which we love them for that. And it was a great thing, and we appreciate every GMT, Lock and Load, Flying Pig, and Mark Walker, and Herman Lutman, and even Herman donated a game to the challenge and shipped it out and signed. He took one of his games and signed it and sent it out to people. So it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good thing. The only problem now I see, right, is because we're not the War Room anymore. We're the WES. So the WES stands for War Gaming, Sports Gaming, and Euro Gaming. So we would have to incorporate some kind of rules where you have to play so many sports games, you have to play so many Euro games, and you have to play so many war games. It was a lot of work for me. Says Richard Kerr, but it was good work. It was fun work. And Thomas says, for me, it worked. Yeah, it definitely, I mean, I think that's why, I challenge my subscribers to do things, even on this show, the Shelf of Shame. We're going to talk about that later in the episode. So, we're going to put the pressure on people to get games off their Shelf of Shame. And if you can't, then we're going to shame you because it's not that hard. And you should, just follow along with me. And so Thomas Harkless says that I could live with that. It would give me to try other games and other genres. And that's so let's talk about our subjects this week, and we've had a long enough intro. So again, the whole main crux of the intro is, if you guys think of something that you would like us to bring back or introduce or talk about or have a new segment, put it in the comments section in this video, or you can email me and discuss things with me offline if you don't want. I'm still looking for people to send me logos and images for the WES, the Shelf of Shame, and an intro movie would be awesome. I'm sure many of you guys remember this intro movie. Like when you guys see that, like you guys probably got chills. I got cold. I got like goosebumps on my arms just watching that. And that's what I'm looking for an intro, something like that for our show, the WES Wednesday nights. 30 to 40, 50 seconds, anywhere in there, but with images of whatever that's not copyrighted and nothing we're going to get in trouble with for playing, and nothing we're going to get copy striked around. So it has to be free music, or it has to be licensed music or whatever. But I mean, everyone that watched that movie knows when they hear, as soon as they hear it, they think of the War Room and they think of all the memories, and that's great. That obviously that's what it's for, right? That's why, like when people hear the Cheers theme, everyone starts singing along because they know it, because they've watched the show, right? So you're just familiarize yourself with it. I want to do something like that for the WES. I want to have its own movie, its own song, its own intro. So when I play it, 2 or 3 years from now, people are going to remember and go, "Ah, yes, look at that. It's the good old days," right? So if you're interested in creating something like that, again, it doesn't have to be super fancy. The one that you just saw there was sent to me by a subscriber. I talked about sending out a game as a result for that. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. But if you are interested in creating a nice intro movie, I've got games here that I could maybe ship out a game to you or something. So keep that in mind. I mean, you do something for the show. I feel like I got to do something for you. I'm not. I'm very interactive with my subscribers and my people, and I kind of let them know what's going on and keep them in the loop. And I don't try to screw anyone over. And again, I've gotten donations that people have sent to me, games and stuff that I have here somewhere deep in the bowels. Can't find it right now, but it's around here somewhere. I knew it was here somewhere. So we were sent this as a big thank you from Captain Carl, and just a note, and a big thank you from him for all the years of gaming that I've done for him, and showed him how to play lots of games. And he felt like, hey, I'm going to send you this because I know you're interested in it. And, and this is, again, the cutest little thing. It's got this little T-Rex on there. And it's got like this, I want to almost like tear that thing off and like keep that T-Rex. It's awesome. But anyways, so again, it's super nice to get these rewards sent from subscribers. So that's why I like sharing things with other people. So if you're able to create a little intro movie for me, 30, 40, 50 seconds, whatever it is, can't be licensed sounds and videos and stuff like that. But anything you can create, that'd be awesome. And it would definitely help our show become its own reality. I think once you get your own theme going for your show, you kind of almost made it, right? I remember when the War Room, we didn't have that. We didn't have that movie for the longest time. Go back and watch like the first couple years of the War Room. We never had that. And then somebody sent it to us, and then we started using it because it was so great. And now it just becomes synonymous, whatever the word is I'm looking for, with the War Room. So I want to kind of do something like that with the WES. So anyways, let's get to it this week. And we had a long time to talk about a lot of things going on. So I'm going to try and keep a lot of other things kind of shorter. We talked about the Zone of Control podcast. We're going to talk about it again tomorrow night, 7:00. I will be on with Jerry. Now, Jerry is doing a remote session from Kansas City, And I'm not sure how all that's going to work. He sent me the link and it's all set up and ready to go, and everything should be fine. But I told Jerry if something happens and he can't get connection, his Wi Fi doesn't work, or I can't connect or whatever, I can always come back the next week or whatever because he's going to be out of town. I don't want to make it a big thing. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I will just bow out and I'll come on the show next week. So hopefully, cross your fingers, everything will work. His Wi-Fi will work, his link will work, and I'll be on his show. So tomorrow at 7, come on over to watch the Zone of Control podcast. I will be there. I want my fans to come. So when we have our little competition, I can talk about the games from Mark Semenich, and I need to come up with another subject that we're going to use because the winner gets to choose the subject next week. Or for the next time. And I'm looking forward to beating Jerry down again because I don't want Jerry winning. Like, he's like that brother that you have that's just annoying, and he thinks he's a know-it-all, and he thinks he's like, it's like the military professional. Like, he's a military professional. He plays war games all the time. He's like knows everything about all the war gamings. He's like a military professional. Like, you just got to knock those people down a few pegs because they get too big for their britches. It's like the professors, and it's like my wife's brother was a professor at Wayne State University, and so like whenever he came to visit at Christmas time, it was always like, oh my God. Does this guy never shut up? What the hell? It was kind of like you want to tell him, like you're annoying me to no extremes because you think you know everything and you don't know everything. So that's kind of what Jerry is a great close friend of mine. I love Jerry. I would never say anything negative about Jerry. He knows that. Whatever we say out of jest and we say out of love, and it's nothing negative at all. People that say, oh, you're talking down about Cardboard Commander. I'm not talking down about Cardboard Commander. I'm teasing him. I am knocking him down a couple pegs, and I'm enjoying beating up my brother. I mean, he's one of the greatest guys I ever could have met in my entire lifetime, and it's a privilege to know him and play with him. And so, it's just the brother that I love to beat on. And, it's like that. Hey, Mike is in the house. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I do appreciate it. It's good to see everyone out there tonight. So, again, that's tomorrow at 7 over on the Zone of Control. Come vote for me. My peoples, come vote for me. Okay. Second thing is, as a reminder, I know I keep saying this every week, but I'm going to keep saying it until the middle of April when I'm gone. I am headed to Berlin for 2 weeks in April. I will be gone for 2 weeks in April. So we won't have a show. Obviously, I will be gone. And during that time, I'm looking for things. We're going to be in Berlin for 3 days before we leave on our river cruise. And so I'm looking for anything in Berlin that I should be checking out while I'm there. So because we're going to have several days where we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs doing nothing. So if there's somebody or something or somewhere I should go, if you have some recommendations, email me and let me know because I would love to know from people that have been there, like, oh, you need to go check this out, blah, blah, blah. I'm a big World War II fan, so obviously anything with like World War II museums or World War II sites or like the Reichstag would be cool, or Hitler's bunker would be cool, or, anything like that would be super neat. And so if you know of someplace and you have some recommendations for Berlin, let me know. So, for our W section today, we've talked a little bit already about wargaming and what it brings and everything. But for our wargaming section today, I wanted to kind of talk about the fact that Jerry is going to the ASL Starter Kit convention in Kansas City. And he's very excited about it. He's been posting videos, he's been posting images of playing ASL Starter Kit, and he's been checking it out. And what I'm interested from you guys, whether you're watching live or if you're watching later on YouTube, whatever, do you guys still play ASL? And if you do play ASL, do you play Starter Kit or do you play full ASL? The reason I'm asking is I have always played ASL, and then I started getting into Starter Kit and trying out the Starter Kit. But I played both Starter Kit and I played full ASL. And that was for a long time. I played both. I enjoyed the full ASL more, but it was kind of, that teetering on, it was almost too much. I did 3 different tutorial series on ASL and all that. So my question for you guys is, do you guys still play ASL? And if you play ASL, do you play the Starter Kit or do you play full ASL? Because I'm thinking about maybe giving ASL another go. And I'm interested to find out if I get back into ASL, if there's people out there to be interested in sitting down and playing with me, or if if there's nobody that's interested in sitting down and playing ASL, if you'd be interested in sitting down and playing ASL Starter Kit or whatever. It's like a single A in baseball, right? Yes. So Richard says, yes, I do. Right now it's just Starter Kit. Okay. Thomas says, I don't play ASL. Panzer Grenadier is his vice. Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, leave me your comment and let me know if you are playing an ASL Starter Kit or if you're playing ASL, and if you'd be interested. I know Jerry's always saying to me that he's looking for opponents and he plays it all the time, and there's plenty of people out there. My thing is, I don't want to get back into it and play it solo because it's not a solo game. So you would need people to play it. And I want to play games with Jerry, but I want to rotate games. I don't want to play ASL with him over and over and over again. Just like I don't want to play Combat Commander with him over and over and over and over again. Like I want to play different games. As you know, I'm the different game guy. Like I play a different game every day. So that's what I do. I don't play the same game all the time. So I want to play ASL Starter Kit when I feel like it, and I want to play ASL when I feel like it, and I want to see if there's somebody out there. So if you are interested, leave a comment down below and let me know, because I'd be interested to know if there's still. I want to see his pictures from the ASL tournament in Kansas City. It's a Starter Kit convention. I want to know how many people show up to that. I want to know, Mike here says, I have most ASL. I've never played it. I find more modern mechanics more enjoyable, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it. That's kind of where I'm at, because if you look at ASL, like the prices are like $150 just for the core box. Then you got to buy the big edition, 3rd edition rule booklet or whatever it is. That's another $64. You're talking just to get into the core game, like you're talking $200 minimum to get into it. Like minimum $200. Like minimum 200. Like if you buy any of the expansions or anything like that, you're talking another $150. And I mean, I'm almost exclusively play ASL for years. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Like I played a long time ago, and it's like it's scratching a good itch. It scratched a really good itch, but I have a feeling like if I got back into it, it would just be for nostalgia. Like the counters are awful. The price is awful. The company that does it is not one of my favorites out there. They put zero effort into it. They purposely, in my opinion, they purposely keep things out of print to inflate the prices of their games to make people think they're worth more than they really are. And they're only doing that because they want to make people feel like their game is special and important, which it's not. And that really rubs me off on the wrong foot. That really, really bugs me to no extreme. And that's one of the reasons I left ASL, and I swore I would never get back into ASL. And the reason I am really doubting about whether or not I want to invest in this company again, because of their tactics they use to artificially inflate the prices of their games. And I don't like those tactics, and it's always been a bone of contention with me. Let's see what Richard says here. I don't have it all, but still have spent a lot of money on it. Yeah, it's a boatload of money. You have terrible counters, absolutely terrible counters. You have terrible graphics on the counters. Your player aids are terrible. Your rule booklet is terrible. Like the whole thing could use a complete rework. And they put zero effort into it. And as Mike had said, there's more better modern day games out there. Let's just think about some of the games that are out there now that we can play. We have Old School Tactical, which came out, which is awesome. And I love Old School Tactical, and the graphics are awesome. And you got pre-rounded counters. You have tons and tons of scenarios. You have this huge map board. Old School Tactical it's not a cheap game, but it's not as expensive ASL. And for me, it's a great substitute for ASL. And as Mike had said, it's a more modern design, like ASL, we're talking 1970s, 76, 75, 74, whatever year it was. What year was ASL? $1985, actually, was when it was starter kit. Or I'm sorry, not starter kit, just ASL. It was 1985. So it's been around for a long time. And again, the graphics are terrible. You can just see let me show you this, because I think this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that is these graphics are just terrible. Your map boards are terrible. You got these terrible little tiny, I think they're half-inch counters, right? I think the infantry are like half-inch counters. You only get the Germans and the Russians in the core game. If you want to play with the Americans, that's another $150. You want to play with the British, that's another $150. You want to play with the Italians, that's another $150. Again, I'm not trying to talk down about ASL. If you love ASL, that's great. I love ASL myself. Right? I love ASL myself. I've done 3 tutorial series on my channel. If you type in ASL ID Jester, you're going to see all my tutorial series. ASL training video series. There is 14 videos in there. That's from the one series. The second series, there's 6, 8, 10, whatever. I don't know. 8 videos in that one. So, I mean, I've done a ton of videos on ASL. Like, I love ASL. Problem's not ASL. The problem is how much money it costs, the company that's dealing with it, and the way the company does business. I'm not a big fan of. Oh, yes. Mike also mentions last 100 yards, fighting formations. Wow. Assault, Sicily, CC are a few that I would rather play. Great points. I mean, last 100 yards, that's a game that I've got all the boxes. I bought into it, and I've never played it. Like, it's been sitting, it's on my shelf of shame, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And maybe I need to put that on my list of games to play to force myself to play it. Fighting formations. Now, I know me and Mike and Nerd Workshop, we got together and played it a couple times. I'm not the biggest fan of fighting formations. I appreciate what it's trying to do. It is a little gamey. It's got a little of the Euro mechanisms thrown in, which, all Euro games are kind of gamey, right? That's one of the one things Euro games are known for. They're kind of gamey. Like, the rules are rather suggestions, and then you can break the rules by playing the game your way. And that's kind of the one downside. Is fighting formations is really cool, and we had a great time playing it. And thanks to Mike for teaching it and having a great time with us. The one thing, it was kind of anticlimactic at the end of the game, because like the poor guy I was playing against couldn't win because we rolled the dice on the last turn and he needed to capture like 2 objectives, and I just took all the high dice, so he couldn't activate his units and take the objectives at the end of the game. And the only reason I did that was because I can win if I do it that way. And so it's still a great game and a great system. Don't get me wrong, fighting formations, I would highly recommend you check it out. But I would say it's got some Euro-y mechanics that make it a little gamey. And maybe it was just that one scenario. Maybe I need to try it again. But I've heard from other people that my views on it are pretty spot on. And I've played enough games to know what I like and what I don't like. And there's probably some stuff we weren't doing right, or, with the little chips and the counters. I didn't understand that whole, putting the little chips down and activating your units within the chips and trying to get those in and out, and they kept coming in and out. And I didn't understand that whole mechanic. So maybe if I played a few more scenarios, I would understand a little bit more and I would appreciate it a little bit more. Again, nothing wrong with fighting formations. I recommend it wholeheartedly, but I would say that it's not one of my favorites. Yeah, well, I mean, that's right. He should have known the possibilities. He should have been, yes. I mean, it was on him too, right? Because he spent the first 4 or 5 turns just wearing down my units, damaging them, and doing a lot of attacks instead of a lot of moving. He spent all of his time destroying all my units. And he spent too much time doing that instead of moving up and trying to take objectives. So it was on him as well. It was on him as well for that. That is, I would say that is true as well. I would check out his videos. They're over on Nerd Workshop. You can do a search on board game or on YouTube, and you can probably find Nerd Workshop, and then just type in Nerd Workshop Fighting Formations, and you'll see the videos that we did. And it was a really good time. And I'm not saying anything bad about fighting formations. But if we're talking about recent games that are better than ASL, like I would put in the category last 100 yards. I would put in the category of last 100 yards. I would put in the category of the one I just mentioned a minute ago, and now I can't think of it. What is the one I just mentioned a minute ago? Now I have a brain fart. I need a drink. Old school tactical, fighting formations, or old school tactical, last 100 yards. And we're trying to think of, would you guys put in lock and load tactical? Is that a newer game for you? Because lock and load tactical, that's been out for years and years as well. I don't know if you guys would consider that a modern game or not. Christoph is in the house. Christoph says, fighting formations are not really solo friendly or two-hander. That's what kept me away from it. It can be a little challenging solo. I would say that, and that's another reason why I haven't really gone towards that series as much as I would have liked. I do know Combat Commander is more of a more recent design. Combat Commander, last 100 yards, fighting formations, old school tactical. I'm trying to think if there's any other really good tactical games out there. If there's something that you want to talk about, put it in the comments section. But that is I was interested to find out. I know Jerry is headed to the Kansas City tournament this week, and I'm interested to find out how many people are still playing ASL. I mean, sure, it's still probably popular, and I'm just trying to find out. Oh, that's right. That's a good one. Combat is another newer solo game. That's true. That would be a good one to look into. Combat is Combat Explanation Point is a good one. Assault System. I don't know that one. You don't play the lock and load tactical. Okay. A 65 Nom. Yep, that's another good one. I actually own that. That's like right back there is my copy. If we think of any other, Panzer, right? That's another good one. Wow, you guys are coming up with some awesome ones that I didn't even think of. That's a great one to mention as well. Panzer, which is really a lot of people love Panzer. Now you guys know I'm not a big Panzer fan, but I can admit it's a good game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the game. Mike says he's underwhelmed with combat. I need to try that out. I need to see. If it wasn't so damn expensive, I might. The assault system interests me. Now I'm interested to find out what this assault system you talk about. I'm not seeing anything. Is this a new release coming out? Assault System? Because I don't see anything on Board Game Geek yet under Assault System. Assault of Sicily and Assault and okay, Assault of Sicily. Is this the one we're talking about? Just so I can. I'm assuming. Tactical combat on the West Front. Oh, look at the counters are hexes. The counters are hexes. That's Definitely, I would be interested in that one for sure. That looks pretty cool. The graphics are awesome. It's got some weird dice. X's are probably misses. Circles are probably damaged. Skulls are maybe like defense. Yeah, it looks like a good one. For sure. I could probably get into that one. Mike says it's a great game. Nice. Well, the reason I'm interested in what it looks like is because we're going to move on now to the Euro game part of this section. It is a great game. It's my favorite of the series and best of my collection. Really, Principal Gamer 23. Thanks for stopping in. We do appreciate you. Thank you for sure. So we're going to move on to the E part of the WES. We're going to talk about Euro games, but it's going to be more of a generic topic this week. As you guys know, I played Veil Wraith yesterday as my game on my shelf of shame, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But as I was playing this game, like the two things that stuck out to me was the artwork on this game is amazing. Like the artwork in all of these games from this company is absolutely outstanding artwork. Like just beautiful. Like here's the portal card. Just beautiful artwork. Lots of effort went into making everything look really, really nice. Let's see if I can find us a couple good examples of some good cards here. You know, you have this really nice looking lantern bearer, right? And you have the ogre. Like the artwork on these cards are just amazing. Like every card has got this beautiful, awesome artwork. Like it was just spectacular artwork on the cards. And unfortunately, like the whole time I was playing the game, I was like, this is got to be the ugliest looking game on the table that I've ever come across. Like it just, at the end of playing the game, like it was just like, and I think it was because it was like, it was all black and white. Like there's no color, like everything, like even the dials are all black and white. All your counters and your tokens are all black and white. All your markers are all black and white. Like every single thing in this game is black and white to represent like this shadow world, which is obviously a design decision by them to you know, they wanted people to feel like they were in this shadow world, this shadow realm. And yes, I did feel like that, but man, did I like the game? I did not. I this is where I'm getting to. Like our subject for Eurogaming is artwork and gaming. Like we just talked about how great that assault. Like this looks awesome. Like this artwork on this game looks amazing. Like you know, like that it looks great. Like that is, you got hexagon counters, which looks awesome. You got cards with nice colors. You have different markers. Just everything looks great in my opinion. In my opinion, it looks great. Um, and and for me, like my subject for my Euro gaming is because I played this game, right? And as I was playing this game, like it really turned me off. Like the artwork is amazing artwork, but then it's also, how do I want to put this? It's kind of, I don't want to say it's bad. It's just so, it just made it look, the presence on the table. How do I put this without making it sound like I'm a jerk? Um, I don't want to sound like a jerk and a complainer because, but it just, the table presence of this game, everything being black and white, just made it look very, very generic. And I kept saying to myself, like, if you look at the other games from this company, like, let's take a look at Gloom of Kilforth. And I will share my screen and we'll just kind of compare artwork just so you guys can get what I'm trying to go at here. This is by the same company, same artist. I think this company is basically the designer is Tristan Hall, and the game company's Hall or Nothing. So I think it's just like a one family business. I don't know, but they make their own games, design their own games, publish their own games, and it seems like they have the same artist, which is awesome. But like, look at the artwork on like these cards are like amazing. Like the artwork on these cards is just top notch. The graphics, the graphic design. Everything about them makes it like very easy to read and understand. You got these awesome images, and even the landscapes. You're building it's a 6x6 grid on your table, and so you're gonna have 36 cards laid out, and you have 36 different locations to go to. Each of the locations have got beautiful artwork like this, and it makes the game look great. And then you have Veil Wraith. And when you look at this at the table, it just looks so bad compared to like just not having any color there. I know that they were going for this artistic design to make it like a Shadow Realm, and I don't want to be too hard on the game for that, but man, you can just tell like the presence of this compared to let's see if I can find a table like this one laid out. Like you can see, like what a difference. Like the difference between these two games is like night and day, in my opinion. It's like night and day. And at the end of this game, like I got done playing it, and instead of like, hey, I want to play this game again because I lost, and it's one of these games. It's got great strategy, really cool design. There's a lot of really good things about this game. I don't want you guys to think I'm talking negative about this game, right? What I'm talking negative about is the feeling the game gave me. Like at the end of the game, I had no desire to like, hey, let's play again. Like, let's try this game again. I was like physically sick of looking at the table. Maybe it's just me. Like artwork for me in a game, and that's one of the reasons we talked about ASL earlier. Like, if I want to spend $150 on a game, I want it to look really, really good. And like, you can't get that out of ASL. That's one of the main reasons I'm not going back to ASL, or I've been fighting going back to ASL, is because the game looks like dog shit, to be honest. There's so many better looking games out there. Like, why people invest in this crappy game, I don't know. And this so everything's kind of related. We talked about ASL, we talked about gaming. Like, this game physically made me sick to play it because it just wasn't like at the end of the game, I packed it all up and put it away. Like, okay, I'm done. I had no desire to like play this game again. Like, let's try it again because I lost. Maybe I can play it again and do better the second time. Like, I had no desire to play this game again whatsoever. Like, and I think it's because of the artwork and the kind of the dreary. Art is very subjective. Yes, I agree with you. To be honest, I think it looks both pretty cool. I didn't mind the old black and white look. The art is very subjective. Yes, art is always subjective. Um, I like fancy, modern day, crisp edges. I like color. I like, fancy dancy artwork. Like, that's what I go for. Like this Gloom of Killforth. Like, the artwork in that game is like right up my mojo. Like, that is like my really like my favorite kind of artwork. The one that's not just a generic, there's characters in the background, they're in different poses. It's not the same characters all standing there with their arms crossed and giving you every character's, doing things or stabbing or shooting or whatever. They're all in different poses and they're doing things. That's kind of my mojo. Now, I didn't go into all the cards in here, but there are some pretty generic looking cards in here that kind of was another turn off because not all the artwork is awesome. A lot of the artwork reminds me of this front cover, which is different and unique, but it's also kind of ugly in its own right, in my opinion. Like, they could have made a Veil Wraith that looks scary. I don't know what they were going for with this guy. Like, he's supposed to look scary and mean, but he doesn't look scary and mean. He looks like a cartoon character. And so for me, that is a real turnoff because, like, your theme is supposed to be dark and scary and horror, but then you don't have like dark and scary characters. Like, again, I don't want to pick on this game, right? But like, if you look at some of the artwork, like, I was specifically pulling out some of the better artwork, but if you can see, there are other ones in here that are just not as good. Like the Goblin character, there's the Goblin. Like, the Goblin is very generic, not much going on with this character. I mean, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him, but he doesn't really like in fear or dread or whatever you're trying to go for. It doesn't inspire anything from me. Nothing. Trying to give you guys some other examples of like, you have like this one here. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of generic. The Memory of Poison. Like, what is the guy looking at? I can't even see what he's looking at. What is he doing? What is important about this guy? Why do I see a half silhouette of this guy? Like, there's nothing. Like, for me, a Memory of Poison would be having the guy like drinking the vial or something. Again, I don't want to get into specifics about every single card in the game because it's not what I'm trying to get into. What I'm trying to get into is looks are important for me in the game, and like there's just a mishmash of what the theme of this game is, and it just was a complete turnoff for me. If you got a horror game and you're trying to create a horror game, then your characters should look like horror monsters. They should look like, fangs and blood draping out of their mouths and things like that. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat here. I really like the artwork in Dark Souls for that type of game. Books are important, but the rule sets have to grab me. Yep, I agree. It needs a background. So again, I don't want to talk about every single card in this game because that's not what I'm going for. What I'm going for is artwork is important in your game. Whatever your theme is, you should stick with your theme and have your theme shine through. Like here is an art decision to be made. Like they're going to make Horrified, right? Monsters of Madness, right? Then you have the icons of the characters and everything looks like the artwork that's involved in this. For this artwork, it's all a mishmash. Some of the characters look good. Some of the characters don't look good. Some look scary. Some don't look scary. Some are just plain silhouetted characters. And it just doesn't especially for the memory of poison. You think the guy would have a vial or something in his hand that shows he's the poison master or whatever. Not a guy staring off in the dark into the nothing. So I don't want to pick on this game. I'm just saying artwork is super important in the game for me. Is it important for you? Why does it matter? And is there games that you play that you got done playing and were like, I don't want to play this again just because I don't like the look of this game? And that's kind of where I'm at with this game. Really cool, interesting game with tough decisions, interesting design. It's not very hard to learn. It's a very easy game to understand and easy game to learn. You're going to be creating a deck of cards to go up against. So it's going to be kind of unique every time. And the way the cards come out is going to be different every time. So you're never going to play the same, the same game every time. So that's all that stuff is really cool. And giving it, hey, that's why I got this game. But for me, it's also now that I've played the game, did the game's mechanics overcome the negative of the artwork for me? And I'm probably going to hold on to this game and decide what I'm going to do with it. The reason the reason I'm going into details with this is some of you may or may not know this, but I had Gloom of Killforth and Shadows of Killforth and all of that. I bought everything in the system because of the artwork for the game. And I love the artwork of this game. And the way you make your characters and you do the adventuring and all that is super cool. And the artwork is beautiful and it makes the game look so great on the table. But I ended up getting rid of the game because the mechanics in the game did not overcome the greatness of the artwork. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? The mechanics of the game, the artwork is way up here, But then the mechanics of the game dragged the artwork back down where it was like, I just have no desire to play this game because of the mechanics of the game. And the reason I didn't like the mechanics of the game is because you're basically trying to find keywords. Everything is a keyword in this game. And you're going in the hills and you're randomly fighting a hill monster or a hill adventure. And until you get the keyword that you need, you just have to keep running around looking for the right monster, the right location. It's all random. And it just drove me crazy. Like, I don't want to just run around looking for keywords. One of the reasons I didn't get into ASL was the artwork. The other reason is there's too many expansions. Yeah, that's why we talked about ASL earlier. That's why it was on my list of things to talk about, because when I'm thinking about, do I want to get back into ASL? It's like the artwork doesn't do anything for me. Is the artwork going to drag down the mechanics in ASL? Are really good. Like I like the phases of the game. I like the how you have the attacker and they're doing their thing, and then you have defensive fire, and then you have reactionary fire, and then you have all these phases, movement, blah blah blah, and then it goes and switches to the other person. So it's always keeping you engaged. I like the mechanics of ASL, but I mean the artwork is just dragging that down for me. Like the artwork is just like the game mechanics are up here, the artwork's down here, and it just drags down the game for me to where I'm like, do I want to invest that much money in a game that looks like that? I don't think I do, to be honest. So that was Euro gaming. Let's move on because we've still got some other things to talk about, and we've already been going for a while. Sports gaming is going to be very quick today because we don't have a lot to talk about, but we do have to talk about it. Our S in the WES Wargaming News. If many of you know or do not know, I've been running the 2008 ALCS and NLCS and World Series. And we now have our World Series matchup as we played Game 7. If you were with us last week, we talked about this, Game 7s and why they're the best. This last week, we played 2 Game 7s. We had the Dodgers and the Phillies Game 7 and the Red Sox and Rays Game 7. And so now the World Series in 2008 has been set. We have the Boston Red Sox headed out to Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. So why am I talking about this? Well, obviously we got the World Series coming up, so we'll be doing the best of 7 with that. I do enjoy my baseball sims, and we have a good time with it. And you know, it's a lot of fun to recreate those, try different things, and I would highly recommend you guys give sports gaming a try. If you're not a big sports gamer, that's fine. You should still give it a whirl because it's a different world than Euro gaming, and it's a different world than wargaming. It's completely different, and maybe you'll find a little niche in there that you might like to do. Now, maybe you are like me and you like replaying historic events. You want to replay the 1982 World Series, or you want to play the 1976 World Series or whatever. Or some of you out there like creating your own adventures out there, which you can take the 1956 Brooklyn Dodgers and put them up against the 1987 New York Yankees. And you can have these matchups where you create your own thing, which you can't do in Euro gaming, and you can't do it in wargaming as easily. These random non-historical events that you can create in sports gaming might be something you might want to check out and try. Let's see what we have here. This will be good. I just picked up my first sports game. I bought APA baseball and fast inning baseball to try each one out. There you go. And I would love to hear from you each week on your adventures, letting us know how you're doing, if you're enjoying it, if the trouble you've run into, whatever, so we can help other people that are trying things out for the first time. I have not played fast inning baseball myself. For me, most of the baseball games are fast enough that you don't need to sim them any faster than I like the batter pitcher interfaces, the interaction between the batter and the pitcher, and you only have 27 outs to get through. So baseball you can get done in an hour and a half. I don't see the need to fast sim baseball games at all. But as a newbie, you might find that very interesting. So one of the cool things you can do in sports gaming is you can create your own matchups, which is what we just did. I played the NLCS and the ALCS from 2008. And historically, what happened was the Tampa Bay Rays went and played the Philadelphia Phillies for the World Series. Well, that's not what happened in our replay. We have the Red Sox going against the Philadelphia Phillies. So I've got a brand new World Series that we don't know who's going to win. So I'm looking for you guys out there to give me some recommendations on who you think is going to win and in how many games. And leave a comment on this video or any of my other videos so we can see what other people are thinking, because we don't know. This is never, these two teams did not play in the World Series, and it's going to be completely unique and different than what you can expect. And so now everyone gets to give their opinion on what they think, how many games. It's going to be the Phillies in 5, or it's going to be the Red Sox in 7, or whatever you think. Let me know, because I would be interested to find when this series is done. I want to compare that with what people think was going to happen and see like how many people were right and how many people were wrong, and where our World Series ended up going differently than other people thought, because it wasn't historical. So that's one of the cool things about sports gaming, is you can create your own matchups. I know there's a lot of people out there that have their own historic leagues. They have teams from 1970, 80, 90s, and the 2000s, and they intermix them into a regular league, and then each of these teams play off against one another. There's all kinds of things you can do. Like the other thing that I've been doing is, let's see if I can share it with you guys. I will share it with you guys here shortly, as soon as let me share my screen. I've been doing a Glory Days college football replay of every undefeated team from 2000 to 2020 and put them in an 8-team bracket, and they've been playing one another off to find out who is the best. And so we have Auburn and Texas, 2010 Auburn versus 2005 Texas, and 2005 Texas won 23-13. And then we had 2018 Clemson going up against 2004 USC, and Clemson won 35-7. And then the other side of the bracket, we had 2009 Alabama taking on 2013 Florida State, and Florida State won that 23-13. So you have one game left in the first round, which is 2019 LSU versus 2001 Miami, which we're hoping to get done this week, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get that game done so we can move on from that into the second round bracket. The winner of this game will take on Florida State. And obviously, Texas is going to take on Clemson. And the winner of those two games will play in the finals. So, what I'm saying is, as a sports simmer, you can come up with all kinds of unique and interesting things to do with your sports games, which are, you can't really do that in Eurogaming. Like, I can't really take this game and transfer it into something else. And yes, I maybe be able to combine this one and other games of the system, right? But I might not be able to take this and combine it into like, I'm going to, see which monster is the number one monster by seeing which monster defeats, the most investigators, like which monster kills the most investigators, or what I'm saying is it's hard for you to change like this format game into something else. Same thing with wargaming, like if you buy ASL, you're going to get scenarios. Like, yes, you can create your own scenarios, but how balanced they are, how historically accurate they are, whatever. Like it's a whim on what you can do. So it's a little easier with sports games because we have more of a reference for them. Viper Dave's in the house. Viper, I thought you were headed to Atlanta. What's going on with that? Are there sports games you can play against someone? Should you play? Should I play Cardboard Commander in a sports game? Yeah, I mean, I should play Cardboard Commander in a sports game. And yes, there are many. Most of them are designed to play two people. Like, they're mostly designed to play two people, but most people play them solo because the game does itself. You're rolling the dice and getting the result on the cards. So that makes it very easy to play them solo because you're basically playing both teams, but you're just getting the outcomes from the cards. So you don't have to make too many decisions. I mean, once in a while you'll have to decide, oh, okay, I got a single into right field. There's a runner in second. Is he going to come home or not? You have to decide, well, is he going to try to steal from first base to second base? You will have to make a few decisions here and there. But for the most part, the game plays itself and you're just getting the outcome by reading the card and getting the information on the card. And Jerry loves his sports games. He started a second YouTube channel called Bald Guy Sports, I think is what it's called, where he's playing his sports games on that channel, and so that way he doesn't have his war game stuff and his sports stuff on the same channel. Me, I've got everything on my one channel. That's just the way I do things. So, anyways, the reason I bring all this up is if you're interested, let me know. 2008 Red Sox, Phillies, who's going to win and in how many games, and we'll see if anyone gets it correct. We'll see. And if you get it correct, you never know. You might get your name in lights, or you might get a surprise. You might get a present. Who knows? All right, last thing for the show today, because we're going to wrap things up. Shelf of Shame. I want to know in the comments section right now if you played your Shelf of Shame game. Now, as many of you know from last week, my Shelf of Shame game was Purgatorio, Battles of the Gilps, and Gillespie's 1176 to 1325. That was my Shelf of Shame game that I was going to try and get done this week. Did I play it? No. But I did play last week's Shelf of Shame game, Veil Wraith. So of the 3 weeks we've been doing this, I've completed 2 of the 3 games. I'm still 1 short, so I got to call myself out on that because I said I would do that. So now what I want to know from you guys did you complete your shelf of shame game? Because every week I want to know who you played and if you completed it or not. And you have to own it. Like if you're here, you have to own it. I don't want you not answering the question. Thomas Harkless says, yes, I did buffalo wings. So we looked at that earlier. So thanks, Thomas, for that. Let's see what Christopher. Multiple sports gamers, such as each has a team, and you play a championship. Peers get eliminated, others go through to the next round, and finally a champion. Looks fun. Okay, Viper Dave, Principal Gamer, Christoph, Mike Butter Jelly, Richard Kerr. I need answers from you guys. Did you play your Shelf of Shame game? Don't ignore me when I'm calling you out like this. Don't you ignore me when I'm calling you out. So of my 3 weeks we've been doing this, we've been doing it for 3 weeks. We got 3 games. I played 2 of my 3 games. Yes, I did not play the game I was going to, but I ended up picking up the one that I didn't play from last week because my daughter was here. Richard, let's see what Richard says. Death in the Trenches. I've not played. Oh, Andre, we got to get on that now. Richard Kerr failed. Oh, okay. All right. So here's the deal. I'm giving everyone a reprieve because this week is my daughter's week. I'm not putting a game in the challenge this week because my daughter is coming to town with my new grandson. My grandson will be here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 days. My grandson and my daughter is going to be here. I'm going to be extremely limited this week on what I can play and what time I got available. So this week is makeup week. There's no new game of shame this week. So you can make up the fact that you missed out last week or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago and play your game that you didn't. And this is the challenge this week is for next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about my grandson being here and all the stuff we did. And then we're going to talk about the Shelf of Shame. And I'm going to say, did you guys make up your Shelf of Shame game? So you have the whole week to feel bad that you messed up and you didn't do your game. And now you got a reprieve. Jester has given you a reprieve. So you have 1 week to make me proud and complete it. That's a lie. You've got a Shelf of Shame. I know you got a Shelf of Shame. Christoph says, no, I did not play mine. Principal Gamer says, I did not play mine. Okay. So this is the week. It's makeup week in honor of my grandson being here. My grandson's going to take up all my time this week. We're going to be doing a lot of things with the daughter and the grandson, so I'm not going to have a lot of time for gaming. So this week there is no Shelf of Shame game. So you can make up. Like if I get a chance, I'm going to try and make up. So I'm caught up. I'm going to try and get this to the table. You too, my friends, can make up and get your Shelf of Shame games done. I'm 2 of 3. I want everyone by next Wednesday to be 3 of 3. I want you all to be 3 of 3, just like me. All right, don't forget, last thing before we get out of here tonight, Zone of Control podcast tomorrow over on Jerry's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be there. You need to come vote for me. You need to inspire myself over there. Show Jerry that my channel it can just overwhelm and dominate him and just collapse in on him. And be sure to show up tomorrow. He's going to have a great show anyways, but let's give him a big round of 30 votes for me and 2 for him. 30-2. We win. That's what I'm going for tomorrow. All right. And of course, my daughter's coming. My grandson's coming. big show next week. We'll try and show you a few photos of the grandson and me holding them and having a great time with them. This will be the first time he's ever been out of Indiana. So we're looking forward to taking him to the beach and having a great time with them down here in Florida. Although it's supposed to turn like 80, 85, and then it's supposed to go down to 60 the next day. Like we're dropping 25 degrees one day. So we'll see how the weather holds up, but it's going to be a good one. Let's see. Jeff says, I failed this week when a new shiny toy showed up. Apple football. Nice. There you go. Awesome. And Christoph is saying, Memo, he's going to play Fields of Fire. Nice. All right, guys, you have a wonderful week. We will see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow night over on Jerry's show. Until then, my friends, you take care of yourselves. Thanks so much. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out the door. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night on the Zone of Control podcast. Until then, my friends, you take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. Take care.